Simple question, is this a good investment?
We think it is. And you mentioned the Knicks and the Rangers and the building, the Garden. The gem here really is the cable network. Well, Madison Square Garden and Madison Square Garden Plus. We've talked before about how we like the cable network business, dual revenue stream, recurring revenue, and advertising. Sports nets are supercharged cable nets. They're must-have programming. Advertisers love them because consumers tend not to skip ads on them. And those alone should do about 160 million of EBITDA, 170 million of EBITDA this year.
So that is kind of like with the Disney story, the ESPN component.
That is their version of ESPN.
What about the value of these franchises themselves? Actually, Forbes has some numbers on what the Knicks are worth, even in a lousy season. They say they're worth about $586 million, so second only to the Lakers in the NBA. And then
right.
In the NHL, you've got the Rangers, Forbes saying they're worth about $416 million, also second in that league. So that's a combined value of about $1 billion.
I don't quibble with that. These are businesses at the end of the day, and they make money through merchandise, through people coming to the arena, through concessions, and obviously by being shown on these sports nets. There is some intangible value to owning a sports team, however, and that is hard to capture, but they're certainly worth quite a bit.
Is this ultimately, though, a better deal for, say, the Dolan family, spinning off this business from Cablevision versus the average shareholder?
Well, to the extent that the Dolans get front row seats, I suppose it is. But this is ultimately a business that has significant earnings power. We think that the combined assets are worth about $3.4 billion or $45 a share. The when issued trading ended at about $18.22 yesterday. We don't think you'll see $45 anytime soon. But over time, after the renovation of the Garden, which we'll talk about, there's significant earnings power here, probably $300 million of EBITDA plus.
Tell us a little bit more about that. The renovation that the Garden has to do, it needs a little bit of a tune-up.
Yes, it does. It's an iconic arena, last redone in 1991. They're going to spend about $800 million or so renovating that over the next 3 years. But what you'll be left with is an enhanced venue for fans.
But in the meantime, that's a cost that any shareholder has to consider.
That's true.
That they have to make. Okay, a lot of people are talking about this offseason, the free agents, the high-profile folks out there. LeBron James, #1 on the Knicks list, but there are a couple of other high-profile guys out there, Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Now, for a shareholder, would signing any of these guys be a good move?
I'm a big Knicks fan now. You definitely have to watch what happens this offseason. It will be material to the earnings of the Garden. If they can get LeBron James, an iconic player like that, if they can increase attendance and raise prices, make the playoffs, it would have a material impact on earnings.
So signing any of these guys for all that money is still a good thing for shareholders, too?
We think so. We think it's probably one of the better investments that they could make.